Joining me now in the studio is Jason Lee from Capcom, and we're here to talk about Dead Rising off the record. Dead Rising 2 off the record.
Dead Rising 2 off the record, yeah.
Jason, welcome to the show. Pleasure to have you here.
Pleasure to be here.
All right, Dead Rising 2, running around a mall, whacking zombies, trying to save your daughter. But off the record, that's a whole different thing. Mm-hmm. Give us the overview. What's going on?
The Dead Rising 2 off the record is a re-envisioning of the Dead Rising 2 outbreak in Fortune City. So it's still running around a casino world, killing zombies in the most interesting ways possible.
Like jabbing them through the chest with a pony phoenix doll? That was pretty gnarly.
Yeah, and already here we're showing off our cool new combo weapon called the Electric Crusher, which is a sledgehammer combined with a battery. And the cool thing about this weapon is this was a contest that we had where we got all the Capcom fans to send in ideas, and this one was chosen. Vile Method came up with this idea, and the dev team actually put it in the game. So you got this cool weapon with the area effect, slamming it down in the ground and electrocuting all the zombies.
I'm wondering if Vile Method has a thing for Norse mythology, because that sort of reminds me of, a hammer-wielding god's power.
It does remind me of that, yeah.
All right, so off the record, giant bug laser eyes, sorry. That's the thing with Dead Rising is anytime you turn away, you think you got a handle on what's going on, some strange stuff is just liable to happen, and strange enemies are about to jump out at you, and strange weapons, you pick them up. It's just a lot of fun. Mm-hmm. And so off the record, now this is not, this is a different character.
Yep. This is back to Frank West, the hero from the original Dead Rising 1 game. Mm-hmm. And like I said earlier, this is a re-envisioning of the Dead Rising 2 outbreak in Fortune City. So Frank West is back in the game. He brings a different set of skills to the game than Chuck Green, who is the hero of Dead Rising 2. He was a motorcycle champion, and he had a daughter that he had to keep safe. This time Frank West is back, and he's in photojournalist mode to sort of make his name and get himself back on top.
Okay, so one of the mechanics that was very prevalent in Dead Rising did not appear in Dead Rising 2, taking pictures. Is that back here and off the record?
That is certainly back. That's one of Frank's big signatures, is that camera and that ability to go around and take pictures. And the beauty of bringing back the camera mechanic was we've got this incredibly lush world of Fortune City, the casinos, the malls, and now our new environment here, the Uranus Zone theme park, and all of these picture-taking opportunities. So you can take pictures of horror and erotica and funny moments. There's
little self-shot, nice.
So yeah, all these opportunities to get in there and use the camera and earn PPs and level Frank up.
Very cool. That was a big thing people got into. Was just it's just another way to experience the mayhem of the Dead Rising world, is trying to take pictures of it. And apparently another way to experience that mayhem is through carny games.
Yeah. Yeah, the beauty of the theme park that we put in, we always knew that we wanted to add a new environment to the world of Fortune City, and we wanted it fully integrated into that world. And initially we went down the path of let's do another casino, but do a cool theme like an Asian theme or a space theme. But we realized that although visually that might look pretty cool, it wouldn't offer new gameplay. The theme park, the beauty is it offers new gameplay. We've got the rides, which you can lure zombies into with firecrackers and so on, and then kill them, take pictures of those for big PP. And of course the carny games where you can go in and you can just sort of mess around and play these things and level up the character. And
of course opens up a whole new array of goofy stuff you can pick up and combo weapons you can make.
Yep.
Now we saw that obviously this the fan contest winner combo weapon. Can you give us an example of one or two others that maybe make an appearance? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, earlier there we saw the Pegasus, which is a pony on a stick combined with fireworks, rocket fireworks, and of course you impale a zombie with that, and the zombie goes up like a giant firework. Here on the screen right now we've got a weapon called the Alien Probe. So this would be sort of a cheesy souvenir that you would get at the theme park. But of course, in the hands of Frank West, it's a zombie killing machine.
Yes, I was wondering exactly how he would be wielding that. I was like, okay, maybe it's just like a taser baton kind of thing. No, Frank West, just he uses things in very creative ways. But I suppose survival demands it.
It does, yeah. And you got to have fun while you're surviving.
Exactly. Now, so he's having some fun. He's surviving. But what is, why is Frank West here? What's his goal? Like, what's going on?
Yeah, Frank West, there's been some time since the Willamette incident, which was the mall incident in Dead Rising 1. And the backstory that we have is he became very famous after the Willamette incident. He was on talk shows, he had his own TV show, he wrote a book and so on, but he kind of let that fame go to his head and flushed it all down the toilet. So he comes back to Fortune City, or comes to Fortune City to compete in Terror's Reality, which is the zombie killing game show.
Yep.
And of course Frank West, being an uber zombie killer, is the special guest star. That doesn't go too well for him. He gets kind of embarrassed, but of course he walks right into another outbreak and then discovers that this is his big chance to get back to photojournalist mode and actually get himself back on top.
Okay, so he's risen to stardom. He's hit the bottom, and now he's trying to work his way back up the best way he knows how, by shoving garbage cans onto horrible zombies and having them lift off. I wanted it to lift off last time, but it didn't because it says escape pod on it, but I was very satisfied to see it go that time.
That's the whole combo mechanic. The beauty of it is sometimes you can take something that's fairly useless, like a garbage can, in this case the theme ones that look like an escape pod, combine that with fire extinguishers, and now you've got the cryopod. So that thing goes up, hovers over the zombies, and then freezes them.
Nice.
And here we go, there's the Pegasus in action, so the zombie gets launched. And if you can grab a shot, sometimes it's not so easy to get a shot, but
it's tricky. That Pegasus took off. I mean, now what is that? It looks like that looks like is fit to be a boss monster or something. I don't know. Are we?
No comment.
Are we dealing with like giant robo rides gone wrong?
That's just background. That's just background.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah. That's it's just something there. Part of the amusement park.
You can see one of the rides on the right here. Let's see. Actually, he's going to go in. Nope, he's going over there.
This teacup ride?
Yeah. So this is one of the killer rides that we have in here. So you can use these fireworks as lures.
Ooh.
And if you move the barricades or use a sword or something, break the barricades, as soon as you start throwing the fireworks into the ride, zombies go in, and of course they get sliced up by the ride.
Now I just went
a zombie blender.
Yeah, I just went to a Six Flags park recently, and I'm trying to picture some of the rides I went on there and like how efficacious they would be at zombie killing. This one certainly looks deadly. All right.
And of course, if you get a shot at the right time, let's see if you can pull it off. Oh, a little early.
Imminent doom, is that a category? There, the head goes off. Yeah. That is a tough one to time, but I imagine if you get a bunch of them in there, then oh boy.
Yeah. So yeah, you were talking earlier about some of the new weapons and so on.
Yeah.
Because the theme park, we needed to populate it with some items that make it sort of the world come alive. There were lots of opportunities for new weapons to add in, and new food and clothing as well. So we got popcorn and cotton candy and those kind of things. And then the clothing outfits, there's some ridiculous outfits that male and female staffers of the park would wear. So
I've been seeing some of these ladies walking around with, like scanty little outfits with things on their heads.
So Frank can actually wear one of those costumes.
Of course.
Yeah. And here's another one of our new combo weapons. That's a tennis ball launcher combined with motor oil. So this one does a little 360 and shoots out the flaming tennis balls.
Do not try that at the country club, kids. Flaming tennis balls, that's good. Fire is definitely fun. Motor oil, I imagine, would be like Frank West's best friend. Like it's flammable. You can pour it on all sorts of things. Yeah, that seems like a good time. All right, so now part of you're earning PP this whole time, and that sort of fuels your leveling up. We're at level 20 here. Is that the max level we're set at? What kind of leveling up is Frank doing, and what kind of new moves is he acquiring? Can you give us a little bit?
Yeah, the leveling for this demo is set at number 20, but Frank being down and out and he's kind of let himself go, he starts the game at level 1 again, but of course he can progress through the levels, he can earn skills. We've brought over all of the original skills from Dead Rising 1, but then augmented those and added new skills as well.
Okay, so now are some of these new skills that he learned that like maybe Chuck knew, or is it just new stuff for Frank?
New stuff for Frank.
Okay.
Yeah. And one thing that we've already talked about at E3 and so on is co-op for Dead Rising 2 off the record will actually feature Frank and Chuck. And the cool part now, because we've given Frank a lot of his old animations from Dead Rising 1 plus these new skills, when these two guys are fighting side by side, you can actually tell that they're very different. It's not just two characters with the same animation.
That are the same, yeah. Just one of them's wearing a suit and one of them's wearing a bike jacket.
Yeah. So this is another cool mini game. It's sort of an oversized whack-a-mole. You can run around with a wacky hammer here and play it. Or if you find a sledgehammer, you can actually break them and get even more PP.
Get more PP.
If you figure that out. But this game here is called Mole Men from Uranus.
Mm-hmm. And that's one of the great things about this series is the sense of humor, you know, because it's not just the sort of stuff you guys put in there, like the wacky names. It's the organic things that happen that are just hilarious because of the, you know, the various things. I think one of our editors, you know, who's loved Dead Rising 2, one of his favorite things was to help revive his co-op partner. You know, you feed them food, but he loved to like find rotten food and then feed it to his co-op partner, so that he would then wake up and be healthy but vomiting.
Yeah.
You know, and it's so I imagine there's more of that co-op fun involved. You know, once Frank and Chuck team up.
Yep. No, co-op's a blast. Single player obviously is a blast. We've got a very different story for this game as well. We can't talk too much about details on that yet, but it was important to redo the story and make sure that it was a Frank-centric story around him, sort of in the photojournalist mode, trying to figure out this mystery.
Oh,
there's the
like the knee below the knees, just left there.
Yeah. This is one of those ones where if you can really get a lot of zombies in and time it right for when the thing comes down, it's really spectacular.
And it seems like it does give you a bunch of time. You know, like some of these rides give you more time than others.
Yep.
That teacup was coming around pretty frequently, but
you just got to get in there and figure out the timing, and that's one of the beauties of Dead Rising as well, is just the replayability, because you got this giant world. There's too much to do on one playthrough. There's too much to do in an 8 or 9 hour playthrough from beginning to end. And the goal always with the Dead Rising franchise is when you finish a playthrough that you want to go back, you want to see all of that cool stuff that you missed the first time around.
So for folks who are really eager for their first playthrough of Dead Rising 2 off the record, Jason, when are they going to get to play it?
So the release date is October 11th.
Okay.
And this game is going to be on PC, Xbox 360, and PS3.
Fantastic, Jason. Thank you so much for bringing it by, showing us some mayhem.
You're welcome.
Much appreciated. Hope has Comic-Con been going well for you guys? A lot of excitement around the title.
This is my first time here, so I'm having a blast. But already down at the booth, people seem to be having a lot of fun with the demo, and we've got a cool thing as well that we're going to do later on, comic book signing. So I'm going to sit down with Tom Waltz, the author of the comic, and sign some posters for the fans.
Great. So if you folks are at Comic-Con, come get your comics signed with Jason and Tom Watts. Time, you know when that's going to be? Friday?
6 o'clock tonight.
6 o'clock tonight.
And then there's another one tomorrow.
All right. Check your Comic-Con pamphlet for more. And all right, thank you, Jason. And now we are actually going back out on the show floor. You guessed it. Homer Ibarra is pursuing toys, people, video games, just all sorts of stuff out there. And let's take a look at what he's up to this time.